Hello, how's it going? Welcome to Season 2 of the F1 25 My Team Career Mode with Toyota. Really can't wait to get into it. I'm Joe. If you're new around here, make sure you leave a big thumbs up down below and subscribe for plenty of F1 content. And if you've missed Season 1, then do go and check out the channel playlist. We've also got the F1 Ultimate Career Mode, where I'm starting in 1995 and trying to get all the way up to the modern day through every season. So yeah, it's going to be really amazing. I'm looking forward to getting into season 2, but fingers crossed we will pull it all off. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoy and all of that good stuff, and without further ado, let's finish season 1 and see what's all gonna say. So, score 10 Constructors points in a season. We very much completed that. We're 5th place in the Constructors Championship, so $20.5 million in the bank. Another 30 million than we've got in our finances. We have completed a season, which means we have increased our fan rating just a little bit, which is nice. The cost cap, we were 65 million under budget, so certainly can do a lot better than that next season. We did get 1 pole position, which I believe was at Spa. We got 219 championship points as a constructor, and 5th place is where we finished. We earned 3 accolades. I've got a fan rating of 4 and no sentiment right now. So, into Season 2 we go then. Of course, 2 brand new drivers are joining us, and we've got to see where the other drivers are going as well. That is going to be very exciting. But first of all, we have to decide on what we are doing next season. So we can add in some of the reverse circuits. Now, I don't know if you can... oops, hang on. If you can remove one track and add in another. Yes, it looks like you can. So you can have a reverse circuit and then the other way. So I am very much up for doing some reverse circuit stuff this year. That is going to be really cool. So we will have a look at all of that. You can usually add in stuff like Portugal, but it doesn't look like Portugal are in there this year, which is a shame. But yeah, we will be back once I have decided on our season. Okay, so this is going to be our season for next year. We're going to go with 16 races just to reduce down the season a little bit. I did think about going all the way down to 10, but I couldn't fit in all of the Grand Prix that I really wanted in there. So Australia is, of course, going to be where we start the season. We've then got Bahrain, Spain coming up after that, which is going to be really exciting. Race 3 of the season to get up to there. So quite a long break in between Bahrain and Spain. Then we've got Canada, Austria reversed, Austria the normal way, Great Britain, and then Great Britain reversed. So that's going to be really cool. Belgium is at number 9, then Hungary, which is one of my absolute favourite circuits. Then we've got Monza. And then the COTA Circuit of the Americas. I've got rid of Mexico this year in favour of Brazil, Las Vegas, Qatar and Abu Dhabi. I really enjoyed racing Las Vegas and Qatar, and I think it's important to have some sprint races in there. So we'll have the sprint race, I believe, at COTA, Brazil, Qatar and Belgium, and I believe that's it. So it'll be interesting to see if they add in any other sprint races. But yeah, 16 tracks this season. Excited to get into that. Of course, we have to go in and select our engine supplier and all of that good stuff. We did have Ferrari last season, I believe. That would cost 4 million. We've got Mercedes pretty much up there in terms of the same performance, so I see no reason to change from Ferrari. For next season, we have got Nico Hülkenberg and George Russell signed into the team, and they will be ready and raring to go, ready for the season. So that's going to be all very exciting. I am going to change the livery, but I'm going to keep that a secret just for now. But we are going to advance through and show you all of that.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.
I have no idea when all of the sort of reveal stuff is. We'll autofill all of that. I'm going to try and keep it a secret who's joined who until that little movie at the start, if you like. I'll do that one. Why not? Yeah, remove all of that and then see what it fills it up with. Yep, that looks good. Okay, cool. Yep, that's fine. Let's head forward into development then. Yeah, that all looks good. And we should get a little idea of where we sit as a team. Progress history. So yeah, look, wow, it looks like Williams have made the step up. So we're going to have to really make sure that we are developing, because Williams have made a big step forward ahead of this season. Mercedes, yeah, they haven't adapted their parts, so they've been brought right back down. Looks like it's going to be a three-way battle between Red Bull, Mercedes and McLaren at the first Grand Prix. So we have got not a lot. So weekly resource modifier is in check, but I don't think we can afford anything just yet. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Drivers looks fine. I'm not going to touch that yet. Title sponsor, it looks like we're still with Xenon. So that's fine, I think. I think we're all good. I think we're all good to head off towards the first Grand Prix. So I'll see you guys for the livery reveal, or if anything else happens, I'll join you for that. Well, we've made it to the first weekend of the season. We've not really been able to develop much. I'm a little bit worried, actually, if we look at the progress history. I'm sure we are going to be struggling compared to some of the other teams early on in this season, simply because we don't have enough resource points. A lot of the developments are now very, very expensive, so we're trying our best to make sure that we've got the best car possible. I haven't seen anything in terms of announcing this year's drivers or anything like that. We have, of course, got our new livery, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You might have just got a little sneak preview there. But let's get into the race weekend and hope that all of that stuff happens right now. And we are, of course, going to be driving with the one and only Nico Hülkenberg this weekend as we get our new season off and running. Here we go. Let us see. Is there going to be anything here? Because there hasn't been any sort of like livery reveal or, you know, new. Here we go. No, it's not. It's just Nico Hülkenberg and George Russell walking in, I believe. And there they are. Strong team, that. Very strong team. And I do think that will have a big impact on where we end up this season. But we might get a little idea of who's driving for who. I guess so. We're just going to have a look at it. I mean, again, it doesn't say anything about driver changes, does it? So yeah, this is weird, right? I guess we'll get into it and then we'll have a look on the timing screens.
A very warm welcome to Melbourne, the city that boasts 4 seasons in one day. Let's get this show on the road and let's see who'll be top of the timesheets down under.
I mean, maybe because we're not doing a 24 race season, maybe you don't get that sort of stuff. But there is our new livery. We have gone for the sort of metallic chrome colour.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Hey! Well, Nico Hülkenberg's real voice in there. And, sort of a la McLaren, Vodafone McLaren era. That is kind of what we've gone for. But let's have a little look then. So, Max Verstappen seems to be at Red Bull still. Can we have a look on the onboards? No. Lando Norris is at Mercedes, so he's there instead of George Russell. Gabriel Bortoleto, I think, is at Alpine with Jack Doohan. Isaac Hadjar is at RB, I think. Pierre Gasly's gone to McLaren to replace Norris. Zayn Maloney's now at Haas. We did know that one. Alonso is still at Aston Martin. Jenson Button has returned to the sport to join McLaren. Wow, that is a big one. Charles Leclerc is still at Ferrari. Alex Albon is joining Isaac Hadjar, I think, at RB. Liam Lawson looks like he's gone to Red Bull. He's gone back to Red Bull. Ocon's still at Haas. Paul Aaron is at Sauber now. Kimi Antonelli is still at Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is still at Ferrari. Victor Martins is at Sauber as well. Carlos Sainz is still at Williams with Albon, I'm assuming. So maybe that's the Williams colour then. So who else? Who's at RB then? Or is it Liam Lawson still at RB? Oscar Piastri's gone to Red Bull, of course. There you go. And Oliver Behrman has gone to Aston Martin to replace Stroll. So that is all pretty huge. Wow. Okay. So that means there's no Lance Stroll in the sport anymore. Sonoda's obviously gone. Yeah, who else has gone? Because Button has joined the sport. I guess O'Sullivan's gone. Colapinto's gone as well. They've not managed to pick up seats elsewhere, but brand new drivers at Sauber, which is exciting. Zayn Maloney at Haas as well. Yeah, struggling to think of who else we've lost, to be honest. I don't think we have. Yeah. I basically think those two have replaced O'Sullivan and Colapinto, and Russell's obviously come in. Probably going to have to change that colour, aren't we? Because we're going to get confused with Ferrari. But yes, that is Carlos Sainz still at Williams. Gabriel Bortoleto at Alpine. Sainz still at Williams as well. That is Sainz, yeah. Cool. Okay, right. Let's take it on a lap then of Australia. Might as well do one of our practice programs. We will do the race strategy. And yeah, let's get ourselves into the first race of the season then. And see how this car looks out in the wild. Yes, it looks just as good as I hoped. Out in the wild. Look at that. Yeah, what we'll have to do is get in photo mode to properly show you, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And I think Nico Hülkenberg and George Russell behind the wheel is going to be very, very exciting, but yeah, how do I do it? There we go. There it is. I think it looks really, really nice. That sort of chrome silver. And then the red, I think it's a nice sort of take on the Toyota livery, not the white. obviously, but I think it suits us. I really do. Spent quite a bit of time getting those sponsors into good places, but there is our brand new car and our brand new driver driving it. So might as well take you on this lap with Nico Hülkenberg and see
steady laps here, please. Just a managed pace, like you would in
how
the
we
race.
get on.
That's what's gonna give us the
Oh,
best day. Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay.
well, that wasn't to plan, was it? Let's be honest. Well, luckily for us, we managed to get through all 3 practice sessions without, well, the rest of the weekend without doing what we just did. We're not going to talk about it anymore. It's absolutely fine. But we are going to have a proper look at the championship now and the teams that are involved. So Red Bull, as we thought, are Verstappen and Piastri, the world champion, and a very good challenger in Oscar Piastri. I think that's going to be a really close battle all season. Lando Norris, a brilliant replacement for George Russell. I think he's going to be right at the top of the championship come the end of the season. Antonelli, of course, had a great end of the season. Mercedes have been looking very, very strong. I think it's going to be close between themselves and Red Bull early this season. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton continue at Ferrari, and a brand new lineup at McLaren with Pierre Gasly now the team leader and Jenson Button making a return to the sport. 2009 world champion, of course, McLaren's a former driver. It feels like the most realistic way for him to get back into Formula One is that he comes back to help out McLaren, and I'm really excited to see how he gets on this season in a very competitive McLaren car. We've got Martins and Aaron taking over the Sauber team. Maloney joins Esteban Ocon in the Haas team, and we have got Hadja and Lawson continuing at Visa Kashap Racing Bulls. We've got Bortoletto coming to lead the team at Alpine with Jack Doohan, and Oliver Behrman has replaced Lance Stroll, who has finally left Aston Martin. Fernando Alonso still leading that team there, and of course we have got Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon at Williams, and Russell is coming in to help lead the team with Nico Hülkenberg at Toyota. So very, very exciting. We think performance-wise, we're probably not gonna we're not going to be competing for pole position in these opening Grand Prix, but should be in the back end of the points. So without further ado, let's get ourselves into the first qualifying session of Season 2 for the Australian Grand Prix. Here we go.
And a warm welcome, everybody. We're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park, and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
So, take 2 then. Let's take it on a lap of this Albert Park circuit in Season 2. Obviously, there has been some regulation changes, but this car should be as good as it was at the end of the season. And we were competing for points at the end of the season. That's what we're looking to do here, and you know, getting into the top 10 is the first step of that, and qualifying well. And of course, now we've got Nico Hülkenberg and George Russell, 2 experienced campaigners.
Okay, that's P21 for us. P21.
It does, you know, it feels like we should be trying to get points in pretty much every race this season. That is the sort of consistency that we are looking for. Having a look through Sector 2 here, looking very, very good so far. This is a very comfortable lap at the moment. Feeling very, very nice out there. But Sector 3, as always, ends up being a very, very tough sector for me in terms of finding time, but trying to just look after the brakes, making sure that we're getting on the power nice and early. ERS and DRS deployed, and here we come up to the line. That's a 1:16.4, and that puts us into P9 at the moment, just behind 2009 world champion Jenson Button, who seems to be taking no time at all to get used to that McLaren and the new ground effect cars. And Gasly, well, he's behind his teammate at the moment. That'll be interesting to see if that trend continues throughout the weekend. So, comfortably through to Q2 then. Oscar Piastri quickest in that session, followed by the two Ferraris. Interestingly, Kimi Antonelli quite a lot faster than Lando Norris, so it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues. But going out of the first Q1 session of the year then, Jack Doohan, Paul Iron, Esteban Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Victor Martins and Isaac Hadjar. Oliver Behrman out-qualifying Fernando Alonso in his first Grand Prix at Aston Martin. Well, here we come up to the line then at the start of Q2, and it's a 1:15.9. Just puts us ahead of our teammate George Russell. It's a good start here for Nico Hülkenberg, ahead of his teammate. That's what we're looking for, just behind Jenson Button again, weirdly. So yeah, that's looking like that could be a battle for us this season, potentially with the McLarens. I think we'll possibly have to go out there again to absolutely make sure of our top 10 spot. Let's have a little look. 2/10 quicker than Russell, but Albon and Sainz aren't that far behind. The rest are probably not going to make it through. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know, we could go out there and find a little bit more time. Let's have a little look at the tyres. The question is, will we want any soft tyres for the race? And potentially not. We'll have 2 sets of medium tyres. That should really be enough. I don't think we'll need any soft tyres for the race. So let's head back out there with a couple of minutes to go, with the track at its best, and see if we can get any improvement. I think we need to finish this lap, but we will do anyway. It's a couple of tenths improvement, which is quite nice, and that's going to move us up into P8, I believe. Yes, P8. So just ahead of Jenson Button. Quite ironic, really, that we're in the sort of Vodafone McLaren looking thing, and we're just about ahead of Jenson Button. That was a good lap, that. 1:15.8. I think we can probably shave another couple of tenths off. Maybe a top 6 start could be in the offing, but it really depends how Charles Leclerc gets on in the final part of qualifying. The Red Bulls looking scarily fast at the moment. Going out in Q2 then, both Williams cars, as well as Gabriel Bortoleto, Oliver Behrman, Liam Lawson and Zane Maloney. Well, here we come up to the line then at the start of Q3 on scrub tyres. It's a 1:16.3, so it's not a brilliant time from us. Definitely more that we can do. But yeah, it's a banker time, gets our eye in. It's funny though, 9th and 10th for ourselves and George Russell, but look how much time they've found on those new tyres. Charles Leclerc on pole position at the moment, ahead of Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. Piastri out qualifying his world champion teammate Max Verstappen. Jenson Button on his return, up in 6th place ahead of Pierre Gasly. So this is quite exciting, really. We're looking at maybe gaining about 9/10 of a second with this fresh set of boots. That would get us to just about 8th place, but we might be able to just go a little bit higher than that. We'll see. Oh, look at that purple first sector on our final lap here. This is looking very, very good indeed. Let's keep pushing hard here as we head up towards that second sector split. This is very good. Oh, we were just on the limit there. This is a very good lap time so far, and we've got sector 3 to go. Come on. That was pretty good. A little lift through there to make sure that we were stable. No lock-ups into this corner. A little bit of oversteer as we come round the final corner. We're about a second up on our previous time. We head up to the line. So 15-2. Very good. That's P7 on the grid then for Nico Hülkenberg. What a time that was, and what a lap in the end. And, well, out qualifying George Russell
Qualifying wraps up now.
quite
We have our
convincingly
grid lineup
by
for the
about
big
4
race
tenths of
tomorrow.
a second.
Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Again, just behind JB there in P6. Charles Leclerc, though, takes the first pole position of the season. But very good to see that both of our cars in the top 10. And this is before any development. So very, very good with that. So let's hopefully have a positive race.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28-mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 14 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. So watch out for a safety car at some point during this Grand Prix. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Piastri, Max Verstappen, and Button, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Antonelli, and George Russell, Albon, Sainz, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Behrman, Lawson, Maloney, Isaac Hadjar, and Victor Martins, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Aaron, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me for the first time this season here in the commentary box, Naomi Schiff. Hello, Gnomes. So a new driver signed for next season, which is good news all round. Or is it? Halfway through a campaign? How does a team cope with that?
Yeah, it's a really aggressive decision, and to announce it that early, I guess you kind of raise the question, why did they do it? But this is a driver that's really sought after, so I kind of understand why they would want to bag that driver as early as possible. But hopefully for them, that doesn't cause too much distraction, and they make sure they keep their team right now motivated until the end of the season.
Okay, then, we are ready and raring to go.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Now, it's an interesting one, isn't it? That it doesn't look like it's going to rain at all for the rest of this race. So, we're very much starting on intermediate tyres. It looks like everybody is taking that approach. And then we probably want to get in on the second stint with some dry tyres. It's not letting me do that at the moment. So, yeah, we just need to make sure there's plenty of fuel in the car and just see how this race goes, because it is currently raining. It wasn't forecast. You look at that forecast there. This is quite a surprise. So, yeah, let's get ourselves into the race and, well, succumb to the AI being amazing in wet conditions, I guess. But there's a certain man to our right who is certainly very, very strong in wet conditions, and he'll be licking his lips. But it will be a bit nervy, you know. He's had, well, at this point, 9 years out of the sport. So, you know, it's going to take him a bit of getting used to, but clearly he's not lost it. Qualifying Pierre Gasly. That's very, very good. A little bit like when Schumacher returned, you know, he was right on the pace of Rosberg, which was quite impressive. You know, you look back and he didn't do too badly. Nico Rosberg was an equal to Lewis Hamilton almost. And Schumacher was virtually on his pace every weekend. But, yeah, looking forward to this race, and fingers crossed, you know, we can hold our own with some of these guys in the wet conditions. even though the AI are insane in the wet, I think that's going to get us disqualified. Yep. Yep. So, starting position reset, so we might as well skip the rest of the formation lap and get straight into the season then. Here we go. Didn't actually do that a whole lot last season. Lights out, away we go for Season 2 of our My Team career mode. It's a decent start off the grid, but that is going to be Pierre Gasly having a little look around our inside into Turn 1, and we're just looking for grip as Max Verstappen has somehow made it past Lando Norris, who started second. Terrible start for him. But looks like Charles Leclerc has got away as we go down the inside of Jenson Button, who is looking tentative on his return to the sport. But yeah, we get through up into P6. That's a decent start for us, holding on to that position. I feel like the only way is back from here, but at the very least we've got the car going, and but you can see how quickly Lando Norris has just run away from us on this first lap. It is insane how quick the AI are in this game in wet conditions. You know, they should not be this much quicker. But Charles Leclerc off to a great start. Hamilton looks like he's up to P2, and then I think it's the two Red Bulls. Lando Norris is in P5. I'm not sure where Antonelli is at the moment. Yeah, we're underway here. Jenson Button is going to have a little look at us. I don't think there's going to be any DRS at this early stage, so at the very least we can hang on to that.
No need to worry about the time.
Well, there goes Jenson. That's in a straight line, really, that they're so fast compared to us. Well, we managed to hold off Pierre Gasly, which is quite nice, but that feels like Jenson is now destined to 6th place. But again, we hold off his teammate Pierre Gasly through that corner. But yeah, it's on the straights where we're finding that they're so much quicker. As if we've got a sort of limit on us, and I know they are trying to fix it, but it is annoying at the moment.
Track soon. Back to dry shortly.
Well, that is something that we definitely wanted to hear. Back to dry shortly. I mean, we've done pretty well. We've managed to stay in front of Gasly, but you can see how far Jenson Button has got ahead of us. He's about 5 seconds ahead. We're about ahead on to lap 5. I think now that the track is drying up, our car is starting to perform again, so that's good to know. We should be on dry tyres fairly soon.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 5.4 seconds.
And we know we've got 2 brand new sets of mediums in the bag, so I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing, is going on to 2 sets of mediums in this race. I can't see this drying up for at least another lap or so.
Okay, let's see if we can catch the car ahead. Gap currently 5 seconds.
Whoa, nearly went into the wall there. We can see, you know, how quickly Jenson Button has been able to just storm ahead. Now, we've been tactically using the overtake button on this straight, because this has been the most likely place for Gasly to overtake us, but even so...
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
It's there. But yeah, I mean, we've got a right trolley train behind us as well, haven't we? And look at this, there he goes. Around the outside. But we managed to hold him off for now. That was Kimi Antonelli, actually. It's not Gasly anymore. But yeah, you can see lap times are getting quicker and quicker. I think next lap is possibly going to be the lap to come in and get some dry tyres on. Let's have a little Look.
seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
We keep saying Inter's our best.
Okay, clear.
I think somebody's out. Whoa. There we go. There's Antonelli through. Yeah, it felt like somebody was out, but maybe not. Maybe it was just a spin from one of the new Kicksauber drivers. Yeah, you can see that rain is visibly stopping and there's little to no spray on the track. Yeah, we didn't use our trick this time, and there goes Russell, our teammate, past us. And I think that's probably a wise choice to let him through. Yeah.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the
I'm
end of this
thinking
lap.
let's risk it and come in this lap onto the medium tyres, because there's no spray, so it feels like it should be a dry track that we're running on virtually. But let's see anyway. We're going to come round the final corner. Going to come into the pits. We're going to take that risk. Make sure we're slowed right down. Not getting that 10-second penalty. We've been burned by that too often. So here we come into the pit lane then.
Right, let's go.
We're
Come
the
on.
first to
That was a
risk it. And
fantastic
what's
stop.
quite
Faster
nice
than we were
is that we are
expecting.
in
Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop
a
left in this
nice
strategy.
little bit of clear air here. It does feel a bit early, but I think very quickly we're going to find our feet here. Our Bortoletto is out, and we've got a virtual safety car.
Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your
Come
dash.
on. Oh. Well, nearly ended up getting a penalty there, but virtual safety car.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
That isn't really much of a problem for us unless people start coming into the pits. I don't think they are. But you can see the delta. I mean, the delta's going up. We're flooring it here. So we're definitely restricted on the straights, aren't we? I don't think there's a doubt about that. And then through the corners a lot quicker. It's just quite funny, really. But yeah, nobody's pitting, so it's certainly not an issue.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast.
So
Reduce
it's
your
ending.
pace.
And we're green. Here we go. We're back underway here in Australia.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going
Got to make
green.
sure we get
Maintain
these tyres
positive
back up the
delta until
temperature.
green flags.
Yeah, well, Paul Aaron has come into the pits. I think he's going to swap to the the dry tyres as well here. Or is he? I don't know. Yes, he's gone onto the hards. So I think it is time now for people to be on dry tyres. The question is, are we going to get much of an advantage here? I'm not sure.
DRS has been enabled.
Yep, so everybody else is in the pits. I think we're going to lose out here. Be miles behind these guys. Come out now. Let's
Car
see.
behind you's just come in for the hard tyres.
Yeah,
Car
you can
behind
see
is
that
running
is
hard
that little
tyres.
group, but we've just set fastest lap of the race, so it's definitely time to be on dry tyres. And these guys have come out on hards. Maybe they're going to try and stick out all the way to the end of this race. Which that would be quite a lot of laps. So we're going to come in again and put on the medium tyres. So maybe we'll get a little bit of an advantage later on. But now we can get back to our normal pace. Which means hopefully we can get in front of Albon fairly quickly. Some yellow flags.
Caution, caution.
That is one of the Red Bulls, I think. No,
Okay, I
it
got
was
some
an
information
RB.
on Hadja. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal.
That
They're
ties a
retiring the
Kadja
car.
out. Now, is that going to bring out a full safety car? Not sure. Right, the rest of the guys who were on intermediates are in this lap. So let's see if we get any sort of positions made here. Let's have a look. DRS is open. We're going to have double DRS here. We're going to be past Carlos Sainz, but I don't think anybody else will be.
Great
But
work.
again,
That's the new fastest lap of the race.
another fastest lap. So definitely the fastest guy out there at the moment. That won't last though. But I'm just happy that we're back to dry conditions now. Well, we've done pretty well over the last couple of laps, getting close to Alex Albon. We're now going to try it down the inside, and we are through. Nicely done. It was a little bit risky, but we managed to make it stick. And now we're out of the 1 second, well, out of the dirty air to Alex Albon. So fingers crossed we'll be able to pull away now and set our sights on Pierre Gasly.
Car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's move.
Oh dear. Well, that was a little bit wide, wasn't it? And here comes Alex Albon. We've been doing pretty well here to catch up to Pierre Gasly. Just lost a little bit of time that last lap, but yeah, I think extend this stint by 1 lap. Tyres aren't quite destroyed yet.
Right, the gap to the teammate
It's
ahead of
funny,
us.
we've
7.2
basically
seconds.
dragged Alex Albon with us because there's so many DRS zones here that, you know, for most of the track he has got a straight line speed advantage, and as long as he's staying within a second of us, he's able to make that count. But yeah, we're going to come in, we're going to put on a new set of medium tyres. I think that could make a big difference to the rest of this race. I don't know exactly where we're going to come out. 17th, apparently. So we're going to have to do some battling, but at least it gets us out of this defensive battle with Alex Albon. And I'm presuming these guys are going to have to pit again, because those hard tyres, that would be a long old time to be out. 19 laps is a long time on those tyres. So here we come then. We're going to come into the pits for our second pit stop. Oh, we're okay. Just about managed that. It was a big lock-up, but we got down to speed, and that's exactly what we wanted. And we are away.
Off we go. Back
Lovely
into the
pit
race.
stop.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're
And
happy
actually,
with
we're
that
going to
one.
come back
Pit
out in
strategy
13th
complete.
place,
See these tyres through to the end now.
because we're not the only ones that have come back in. So 13th, and that's pretty decent. And now we can really focus. You can see the sun's peeking out now, so this track temperature is going to rise. That's going to really allow these tyres to sing. We've got 11 laps to go here. Let's see how far up we can get. There we go, quite a lot of the guys coming into the pits then. And, well, that is Pierre Gasly just in front.
1.5 seconds.
So, oh, nearly managed it. Another set of hard tyres is what they've gone on to. That's interesting. So we're going to have a tyre advantage here. Wow, look at that. Gasly trying it around the outside. Didn't work.
The car behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as to how we can close in on George Russell and whether we will do. There goes Gasly again. We're just trying to run our own race here, but you can see George Russell, he's 6.1 ahead of us, so he is faster. We've got the same problem with Gasly that we had with Alex Albon. And start to see George Russell ahead of us now. We're just sort of treating Gasly as if he's not there. But this is good. 4.5 seconds the gap now. Now Gasly, I think, came in the lap after Russell, so if it's a tyre situation, he's going to start feeling it very, very soon, but he's just able to stay in our DRS. It's very frustrating. It's kind of like how we were following Albon for so long. But there he goes. He's got the outside line this time. That compromises our line into here, but that's okay. Still managed it quite nicely there. You can see George Russell really not too far in front at all. So we're going to have another 6 laps to go after this one. If we kept taking out just over half a second every lap, then we'd be right on the back of him from the last lap. So 4.5 seconds is the gap now. Well, just a tenth of a second made there, so whatever we were doing before is not happening now. Gasly through this time. And wow, that crazy amount of dirty air really affected us through that corner. So now it's going to be about trying to retrieve that position by the end of the race rather than chasing after our teammates. So 4 laps to go here. Whoa, wow. Onto the gravel we go. That is not good. And there goes Albon. And that might well be the end of any chance of points today. Which is a real shame, considering how well we've driven. But yeah, Alex Albon now onto the final lap. This is a disaster, to be honest. I don't think we can do it, but we'll try.
Concentration and let's bring it home.
Charles Leclerc, that wins the opening race of the season. And it looks like Gasly's overtaking George Russell as well. So it's not been a good end to this race for the Toyotas. Albon has taken us. Gasly has taken George Russell. Oh, and we get a 3-second penalty there. I mean, that is harsh. I don't really know why that is the case, but yeah, we come up to the line to P11.
A time penalty. It will go against our finishing
Very
time
disappointing.
At the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
But I blame the wet weather on that. You know, the AI got too much of an advantage from that. But never mind.
As good as they should, maybe. But all fun and learning, eh? I felt it was not a bad effort. Do it again.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins.
To take the win at the first race of the season, now that is important. You get straight in to your competitor's head and they now know that you are the one to beat.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. And that is a fabulous win and the top step of the podium for Charles Leclerc. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Yeah, very disappointing in the end. Yeah, finishing outside of the points, but it is what it is. You know, it's going to be a long season. I think trying to punch above our weight a little bit. Okay, we should have finished 10th, but yeah, George Russell was caught and passed in the end as well. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to find ways to improve the car and make sure that we can score points regularly. Yeah. Just a shame. Going that wide into the gravel. Just a lapse in concentration. But that was caused by not really having the pace to stay with Gasly. So, yeah, and then Gasly overtook George Russell. So, I mean, we might have been able to overtake George Russell. His pace must have really hit the cliff.
Have you got a moment to look at something?
But yeah, that's the end of the first race of the season. Little bit of a mistake there, which was disappointing. But hopefully we can start getting some developments on the car. It is going to be difficult to make sure that everything is done. That should be done in time for the Bahrain Grand Prix, which is nice. We can have that done. So that's a little bit of performance to come on. We can do a little bit more research. Where are we lacking at the minute? I don't think we have enough resource points right now to sort that, but we will do, and we'll probably do all of that in the next episode. So that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.